Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cheese Theater. I'm your host, Bill Arney.
This is weird.
What is?
I am sure I left the lights on in here. Well, Bill, it looks like you're going to need a new hat.
Eddie, I think you're gonna need a new suit. You think we should call the cops?
Are you serious? This is Film Noir. Nobody ever calls the cops.
You got me there.
Oh, that hurts.
I'll try not to think about it. Think about the movies. You ever seen a movie called The Man Who Cheated Himself?
Yeah, I have.
Lee J. Cobb?
Yeah, I like that movie. It was shot in San Francisco.
Yeah, and you know, I could never figure out why the woman just doesn't claim an accidental shooting.
Well, there wouldn't be a movie then.
Well, all right, you got me there.
I know, I like that film. That's a pretty good one.
It's been a while.
It's like, what, 1950 or something that they shot that. Mostly on location in San Francisco, as I recall.
Yeah, back in the
And
day.
what's the deal? Lee J. Cobb plays a cop.
Yeah.
He's like a...
Is he dirty or is he just in love?
Well, I don't know if it's true love, but something's leading him around, if you know what I mean. Oh. And he's got a brother or something, right? Who's a young cop on the force.
Or is he a district attorney or yes,
No,
something?
No, because he's got this society dame that he's doing things with. And then, right, doesn't she like off her husband in time-honored film noir tradition? Something like that, right? And then Cobb, then Cobb is like in the room or something when it happens. And then he covers it up because, now that you mention it, why does he? Why didn't they just say it was an accident? Yeah, now
because
you got
their
me
affair
thinking.
was secret. Their affair was secret, and his fingerprints are all over the house, so they had to move the scene of the crime or something like that.
Yeah, that was it. And doesn't he have a younger brother, as I'm recalling now, played by John Dahl, who was an interesting actor in one of my favorite movies ever, Gun Crazy.
Great title.
Very appropriate at the moment. And he was with Peggy Cummins in Gun Crazy, and he was with Farley Granger, may he rest in peace, in Rope with Alfred Hitchcock. And he was actually gay, John Dahl, in real life. He's the guy who plays cop brother in this movie.
Wait, isn't there an Arlene Dahl?
Yeah, not spelled the same way.
Oh, okay, no
Arlene
connection.
Dahl, the redhead.
Yeah,
that everybody always confuses with Rhonda Fleming. But no, they're not the same.
Oh, and hey, by the way, nice shooting.
Oh, thanks. I don't know what the hell happened to that guy. Oh, well.
Probably just here for the TV.
Yeah.
I never go through your desk, darling.
Why did you have the door locked?
I wasn't expecting the pleasure of a visit.
Howard, I'm not used to being...
Locked out in your own home, I know. It's your house, your roof, your bedroom. I just sleep here. My apologies.
You're an ingrate, Howard, and weak. I'll pity you after I get my divorce.
And when, may I ask, will that be?
I'm starting it next week.
So who directed that picture?
A guy named Felix Feist directed the man who cheated himself. He was pretty good, underrated. His father was a salesman with MGM in the early 30s. Got him a job and he started making movies. He made a picture called Deluge, which was about a tidal wave that destroys the world. Early sci-fi in the 1930s. Then he made a lot of B pictures in the 40s, including The Devil Thumbs a Ride, The Threat with Charles McGraw, a great picture called Tomorrow is Another Day with Steve Cochran and Ruth Roman. He was a pretty good director. Did this one, he did this, This Woman is Dangerous with Joan Crawford. And then...
Aptly named.
Aptly named. And then he went on to be a producer of a very famous television series that I'm sure you've seen 100, 200 times, Peyton Place. You must remember Peyton Place.
I remember it, but I was never a fan.
Yeah, well, early nighttime soap opera stuff on TV. Anyway, he produced a lot of that, and then he actually died right in the middle of that run. But you want to know something really interesting about this film? You got to watch the woman who plays John Dahl's wife in the film, an actress named Lisa Howard. Lisa Howard was actually married to Felix Feist when they were making this movie. But she would go on to become one of the most celebrated female journalists in America after her acting career kind of didn't pan out. She went on to become like the Barbara Walters of the early 1960s, worked for ABC, was one of the few journalists that got into Cuba and did interviews with Castro and Che Guevara. I mean,
wow, I did not know that.
No, fascinating.
Che before
woman.
Castro bumped him off?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And Lisa Howard, of all the people who were in this picture, probably had the most interesting life story of any of them. Thankless role in this movie, but that's why it always pays to watch the margins in these films and see who is that actor and what's their story. In Lisa Howard's case, it's a pretty fascinating story.
Yeah, well, anything Lee J. Cobb is in.
Yeah.
He's one of those actors that you forget he's acting while you're watching him.
Yeah, he's just a big blowhard in real life, Actually, this is a subdued Lee J. Cobb. I mean, it's weird. This is, I think, the only movie in which Lee J. Cobb played the romantic leading man. He's a kind of a schmuck in the movie, but you sympathize with him. Usually he's a big screaming, crazy guy. He's in another movie shot in San Francisco, one of my all-time favorites, Thieves Highway, that he plays a crooked produce broker, and then of course.
Yeah. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
Is that Farley Granger in that?
No, that's Richard Conte.
Oh, Richard Conte.
He plays Mike Figlia in Thieves Highway, and then in On the Waterfront, his most famous role. That guy could not eat enough scenery, and On the Waterfront playing Johnny Friendly. Yeah, he's great in that picture. Yeah, I mean, some people, he's big and loud, and but this movie is different. I mean, he's quiet and subdued. Smokes cigarettes pensively. He's like a real noir character in this movie. It's a really good performance.